Hey Blender heads, hopefully you got a kick out of that little Scorbunny animation. This rig is now available to download from both my Gumroad page and the Blender Market. Now unfortunately the Blender Market doesn't have a free option, so it's available on there for $5. On Gumroad you will have the option of downloading it for free, or you can leave a small tip if you're feeling generous. There'll be links to both of those pages in the description below. Now you might notice that this model has had a little bit of a reworking since I did the sculpting tutorial series. Although I really enjoyed doing my own interpretation of Scorbunny, I really wanted the final rig to reflect the original design, and I figured that you people would probably be more interested in something that had the original design rather than my personal interpretation. There's a couple of things I wanted to show you about the rig before you guys go and download it. Firstly, this rig does come with the option of having fur, which you can turn on here. Now you won't see any difference in the viewport. Fur tends to slow things down a little too much, so you'd never really want to be animating with the fur visible. But this turns it on for the rendering, which you can see if you select the model here. And if you want to see it in the viewport, you can still enable it using these controls on the model. This fur works for both Cycles and Eevee, however Eevee doesn't currently support the hair shader, so you need to use this additional control to switch between Eevee and Cycles for rendering. So 0 is set to Eevee, 1 is set to Cycles. I used the Auto Rig Pro add-on to create this rig. Now don't worry, you don't actually need the add-on to be able to use this rig, everything will work perfectly fine without it, but it does have a couple of settings that are a little different to Rigify. I think the most important one is that most of the additional controls are found under the Tools menu. With the Rigify rigs, most of those additional controls seem to be found under the Items. Here you'll find them under Tools, so if you want to be able to find the IK, FK switches and toggles and stuff, this is where you'll find them. Scorbunny also has some very simple facial controls. He can blink, he can smile or frown, his nose can wiggle a little bit, and you've got some basic control over the mouth. It's pretty simple, but with a little bit of effort, you should be able to get him to do lip sync. And finally, because this rig was built with Auto Rig Pro, it makes it really easy to add motion capture data. Now again, you don't need the add-on to get motion capture to work, but with the add-on, it's really, really easy. So go and make Scorbunny dance, or run, or shoot fireballs, or whatever you want really. And if you make anything cool with him, please feel free to share in the comments below.